Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clueless Trading Frank. It's approximately 8:27 p.m. on a very warm and muggy New York City evening. It is August 27, 2017. This free webinar update will be recorded and uploaded to the Clueless Trading YouTube channel. Full disclosure, this is purely for financial education and not for any solicitation or advice. Let us begin. You have multiple charts behind you. I'm going to go through each one of them. But more importantly, as I'm scrolling through, I will be talking about some broader points, which are, I think, the most important part of what we do in this business. I am not reading off a script. This is not a teleprompter. This is Clueless Trading Frank, directly, unscripted, and delivered. So first and foremost, I'm going to leave this one in front of you guys as I put in my few words of wisdom, whatever wisdom that I have, which is the pattern symmetry chart that I've been showing for days, if not weeks. So a couple of important things, and I never take down notes. So, I have to go through my few brain cells that I have left in my head to mention these things that I think about before I do these webinars. After a long and very hard day of work, trying to help you all and produce the content that I deliver that produces, in my opinion, some absolutely amazing profits. Number one, the biggest deficiency that traders have, and I'm going to ask each one of you this question because this is part of my coaching session. This is not just me talking. As a coach, I have to basically understand where the deficiencies are so I can attack them. So the biggest deficiency of all traders and members, retail traders and members that we are, retail simply means human individual traders, single payer system, right? Is what? Corey. And I don't want a long-winded answer. I just want you to answer what first comes to your mind. What is the biggest deficiency of a human retail trader, despite everything that I produce and deliver and that comes true? And please don't hesitate because we don't have all evening here.
Okay, not following charts and not buying tactical lows and selling when everything's certainty. Where there's certainty, you should be buying where there's uncertainty.
Okay, so great answer. Dan.
Emotions.
Okay. Carrie.
I think reiterate just what they said, having the courage to move in and buy when, on days like Monday, having the courage to just move in, having the courage to ride the trade.
Monday or Thursday or Friday. Great. Okay. Mike. No? Yes? Mike? Sue?
Yes.
So the question was, what do you think is the biggest deficiency of all of us in one form or another? Let's just put it this way. Maybe mine a little bit less, but is the biggest fault or deficiency that holds you back from making what you should be making based on everything that is being produced and delivered? What do you think is the biggest trader deficiency or fault? Sue?
Yes. Well, I didn't think about it yet.
No, but it's not much matter to think about. If you are a trader or you're somebody in the markets, it's not much to really think about. What do you think is the biggest fault of yours?
Oh, the biggest fault?
Yes, of course. Because unless we can identify that, you will never move to that next level.
Oh, what is the biggest problem?
Yes.
I usually enter too early, and then at the bottom I got really scared.
Well, you enter too early. That doesn't make any sense. You enter.
No, like
Go ahead.
let's say like you have like several entries.
Yes.
I
yes.
just follow your early entry, and then the later entry. I sometimes get so scared.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
I do not dare to add anymore.
Okay. Understood. Okay. And Tim?
I would say fear and SOA.
Okay. And SOA simply means sitting on, sitting on our behinds and this and that. So those are all terrific answers, because that basically summarizes the biggest problem that all traders have. I'm not perfect. I get scared too. My trade sizes can be larger, and trust me, that's more scary than if you just have a couple of $100 on the trading side. When you're upside down $5,000 on one trade, it's a much more scary prospect, and that's one trade, okay? So on multiple trades, you could be down $19,000. So the point is that everything that you guys have mentioned is the absolute truth. So how do we get around it? So the bottom line is, what it really comes down to it is, we know what our deficiencies are. Somebody please mute them, mute their mics or whatever. Okay. So let me just point out one very simple thing here, which we all agree with. Markets are not designed to make you happy. The happiness comes on acting in the most difficult times. And that doesn't mean that when your P&L or profit and loss statement, as Sue correctly pointed out, is at the lowest. Because that could go lower. I want to point out one very simple thing here. I have always said, I am nothing but a fast messenger on the markets. Yes, I'm a lot smarter than all of you put together when it comes to U.S. financial markets, U.S. economics, U.S. political system, and global macroeconomics. No question about it. I'll go head to head with any one of you guys on each of those points. I am a lot stupider and not smarter in many other facets in life, as my wife would like to say. Okay? Every single thing that I depicted and showed on my charts on the weekend session, which all of you should have reviewed before you started trading on Monday, came true. This was Friday. Okay? This was Friday's close. I explained every single red candle move that started at around 1 p.m. After the big move up here that generated very nice profits on a few multiple trades, because I don't like to put way too many trades in volatile markets. If you notice, I'm not telling you to buy every single trade. I'm being selective, and I'm leaving money on some others that I should have been in. So what? Every single thing that I talked about with you, or that I explained on the weekend session, ladies and gentlemen, because I am only here to help. I am not your enemy. I'm your friend. But a friend doesn't mean that I have to tell you that I have to be nice to you when you all have your bad habits. A friend speaks the truth. A false friend or a fake friend tells you what you want to hear. Well, I'm not a fake friend. This is Clueless A Trading. We are the real facts, not the alternative truth or the fake news. So take it for what it's worth, because everything that I tell you, I have undergone and I suppress as I move along. I suppress my emotions. I suppress my fear. I suppress the fact that I look at my PNN and looking absolutely butt ugly for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. And I make it back up twice or thrice within a matter of 24 to 48 hours. Case in point, today. So you don't need to emulate me. I'm not Tony Robbins. I'm not Oprah. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm just an ordinary guy who does the tough things that you all need to do. And believe me when I tell you that. You guys have done far tougher things in life than I have. And I've gone through a lot of things in life, trust me. After all, I lived in Boston and New York, you know, two of the toughest cities well, I didn't live in Chicago, so I wasn't getting shot every 5 minutes. But seriously, all right? So bottom line is, let me clean this out. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me get a different color so we can see what we're talking about. Bingo, blue. I like blue. So here was your Friday lows. Big move up. We made some decent money on the intraday trades for people who are active intraday or moving on my alerts. And then start 1 p.m., we get a nice little drop here. I explained this whole scenario, and I'm not going to repeat this because any of you who haven't listened to my weekend videocast is doing yourself a massive disfavor. So I'm not going to repeat the same things that I talked about on that day. We should have somebody new here, Peter Lau, who joined, but he seems to have disappeared. But that's okay. Let me see if he's still here. Peter, can you hear us? Because I see you in there. Peter? All right. Let me see here. 1 second.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me and see the screen in the back?
Yes, I can. This is awesome. I love it.
Well, you won't love it when you lose money. All right? So don't worry about that. I'm a straight shooter, and I'll tell you. Anybody who compliments me too much or is too happy with my service within the first 48 hours doesn't last for more than 48 days. All right? And this is a fact. And I am a straight shooter, and you will like what I do. And if you truly understand what I do, you will absolutely be richer. And I'm sure you're a pretty wealthy guy. And happier. No question about it. So don't take me the wrong way when I speak. Everyone here knows me, so they will tell you the same thing. So let me continue. So the bottom line is that this move here that happened where we dropped a bunch of red candles, which was a pretty sharp drop, all of a sudden phased out everybody. And as Sue correctly mentioned out, those tactical bottoms where I'm saying buy. And I remember one thing, like the read the testimonial that was put by Jason Fox, who couldn't make it in here tonight. He's probably one of my best tactical traders for a new member. Why? Maybe because he's a construction engineer. He builds bridges and does all kinds of cool stuff. We have a couple of others like that. Very technical. Like he said, I will never put a recommendation out based on my emotions. I will always have a valid technical reason why I'm suggesting that trade. 90% of the time during extreme market conditions, such as what we are going through right now, okay? We're still going through that. Don't get too happy with this move, all right? You will not understand unless you fully comprehend my work, which includes taking the advanced coaching sessions, which I do tell people to take because they do make a huge difference to your mental and your trading profits. That why I'm doing it. Yes, I'm showing the charts, I'm showing the stochastic, this and that, but it's not clicking with you because part of your mind or a good portion of your mind wants to be comfortable when you buy something. Discomfort and pain is not when you necessarily buy something. Please don't tell me that's not the truth. Well, in the case of robotic markets, which are purely pattern symmetric, which I've been talking about for weeks now, or at least 2 weeks, or at least since the 10th, 11th, this is exactly what happens. You can show your child, if you have one, this picture, and they will tell you what the markets are going. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. They will tell you, daddy, mommy, whatever, yes, it's going like this. They will literally take this little crayon and they will map it out before you even know it. Because the lines are very clear, they will join the dots and they will see the pattern symmetry better than as adults you do, because you have money involved in the market. So your emotions are completely screwing you up when you should be doing the right thing. So I am basically a extremely, that's one of my biggest strengths. I'm a pattern recognition specialist. Now, patterns don't always work exactly the way they should. But I would say a good 80% of the time, they certainly do, because human behavior and algorithmic high-frequency trading programs all work the same way. Now, the only time it will not work, and there was a period last week that I felt that we were going lower. We were going to go to 2,400, and I explained that very clearly on my charts. Right there, the big fat arrow. Didn't just make it up. It was there. Back there. So listen to my video cast over the weekend, because I explained where we could drop, where we could bounce from, where it would come from. Except, remember one thing about Wall Street and the stock markets, especially about retail traders, which means all of us. When you think it's absolutely going to happen, it is not going to happen. And there's a technical reason behind it. Market makers know when retail traders are completely bailing out of a position, stops triggered, shorting the market, and right there, the algorithmic algo HFT programs are going to come in and hit you. Well, that's exactly what happened. Now, here's the good part that you should feel good about when you go to bed tonight. You're not the only one. Look at every single $5 million salary guy from so-called Wall Street. I come from from that same lineage. On CNBC, on Bloomberg, telling you it's all over. Tell me I'm lying. That's all you heard all the time for the last week. The Russell 2000 is finished. The S&P 500 is going to have a 10% correction. Blah, blah, blah. Of course we're going to have all that. I'm talking about tactical trading as to what's going to happen now. So you listen to all of them, your mind gets bogged down. You're like, oh my God, look at this. I bought this here. I don't want a dollar cost average down. He's telling me, Frank, Clueless Trading is telling me the dollar cost average down here on this hammer reversal, which is so powerful. And you want to know every single intricate detail, sign up for the ACS sessions, because I'm not going to give away my free time for hours and hours explaining all the nuances of every single thing. I will do it. I will certainly do it, as long as you put in the few bucks, not to make me rich. What makes me rich and pay my bills and support my family and my lifestyle is my own family trading book. Not the service, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Because if I relied on 70 bucks a month, 90 bucks a month, I think I would be on welfare right now. And I am a welfare kid, right? So please remember that very clearly when I tell you that. So I'm not doing a charity for you guys, but I'm certainly telling you that you guys need to focus a heck of a lot more than you're doing. So anyway, so here's this reversal hammer. Not a great one, but it's coming off some extremely powerful levels. I also put very strategic comments, not solar eclipse. Oh, wow. You know, even a 2-year-old knows there was a solar eclipse yesterday, which, by the way, here in New York, New Jersey area, we didn't even frigging see it. I walked out on my patio. I said, where's the frigging solar eclipse? There was none. It's kind of like just sliced by, because even the sun is scared of New York City. Yes, Donald Trump. Just kidding. All right. So the bottom line is that this was the ultimate buying opportunity. Was it visible exactly at that time? No. Did you read my comments on multiple charts? Because I'm showing you one simple one of investing.com. I produce charts of Thinkorswim. I produce charts of one of my most fantastic platforms called QUOD, QUODD, Algo HFT, which I like to call it Algo HFT, because they seem to pick up data from exchanges that I don't know. Okay? So bottom line is, this is just one simple one that I'm showing. And this happens. And this is worth anywhere from 200% plus on your money. Do I need to say more? You had 2 days, Friday and Monday, to absorb, pick up the bargains on multiple fronts, whether it be stochastics being deep oversold, whether it be the other charts that are all there on my Twitter feed, and we're going to go through some of them on Think and Swim, and you could have basically not just doubled your money, you tripled your money. That's when you made 200%. So you put $1,000 and you're taking out 3,000. You're putting in $10,000, and we have big players in our group. Okay, you're taking out $30,000. Your profit, 20K. Now this is one trade. There were multiple trades that I put. I didn't put like 900 zillion trades, because I said on my video, and please, for God's sakes, anyone who hasn't listened to that video from the weekend is being, and I will say it directly, a complete idiot for their own self. Because I said it clearly, focus on the indices, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, because during extreme market conditions, such that we are going through, okay, and this was only back on the 11th, just in case I forgot, that wasn't 10 years ago, that was last week, or a week before. You have to concentrate on the purest form of a trade. That's called the index, like trading futures, except you're trading the pure, clean indices, SPX. You could trade QQQ. I didn't mention QQQ, but you could have done that too. SPX, RUT, IWM, SPY. You don't need 900 zillion ideas. Sometimes traders in our group, they come up with great ideas. Sure, in market conditions which are that extreme, my answer is very simple, not interested. Because I'm focusing on certain ideas which are going nuts. Who cares if something is up 130%? You didn't tell me that before it went up. So who cares? Now, like many here said that, when I asked the question, if you don't understand my charts, then despite everything that I do and the comments that I put across, it's not just a chart. I actually put the reasoning behind it. No other service does that, guys. I say it with a smile on my face. No other trading service gives you the technical reasoning why they're buying something. Yes, they could be a lot smarter. They could be, probably not as better looking as I am. One day you'll see my face. Just kidding, all right? So the bottom line is, no other service does that. I put annotations in here to walk people through. And people who follow my story, people who study my charts, know every one of these annotations, what they mean. A gap fill, a pattern symmetry from 811 that I've been talking about for days now. A breakout level, which is right here, this line. This big breakdown line that we basically were in a trading range for days. I'm sure many of you remember that, and if you don't remember that, then get your head checked. We were trading for days in this range till things happened. Bam down, bam up. Economic Council resigns. Walked you guys through thick or thin, bad, good, and ugly. Every 15 minutes, every half an hour, every hour. Walked through every nuance in the market. Told you this Economic Council resigning is not a good thing. Short the VIX. I'm sorry, go long the VIX. Do I ever go long the VIX? 400% on your money. S&P puts 300% on your money. I did it. Didn't have to hold all the way. If you want to take half of that, that's great. You'd make yourself proud. You'd make your partner proud, your spouse, your husband, your wife, your dog, and your cat. They'd be happier with you. I am a master of understanding the implications of how Wall Street thinks. 14 plus years on Wall Street. You think I didn't learn anything? There are greater traders than me who are going to be looking at level 2, this and that, and sweepers, and blah, 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 blah. They're all over the place. But tell me about somebody who understands the real dynamics of how the real money operates. I started my first job out of Boston University back in the late 80s, early 90s at Putnam Investments as a peon junior analyst. I worked under getting coffee and parking their cars for some of the finest fund managers known in the US. You think I don't know what the heck I'm talking about? So you guys can give me all kinds of information. Oh, the sweepers are buying this call and that call. It means, excuse my French, shit to me. Because lemmings always clump at the same place at the same time. And you think the services that are selling you all that information don't know that? Of course they know that. And how many times has it really worked for you guys? Of course it helps when we have the same directional flow and then a sweeper and then all you good members are posting some stuff. Oh, they're buying the Regeneron 185 call. 485 calls, blah, blah, blah. But they're never there at the bottom. They're always chasing. So here we are in this range here, which we traded pretty efficiently. A bang dropped down, Economic Council resigned. You think that's a great thing? Look, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a hardcore Republican. I think he was a goddamn idiot with some of the things that he did over the past couple of weeks. I am not a dogmatic follower of any person. I'm a dogmatic follower of God. Yes, I'm not a dogmatic follower of man. And on top of that, he's a friggin' New Yorker just like me. I know his CFO. I still have his cell number on my phone from back in the days when we raised millions of dollars for him for the Atlantic casinos that my investors lost 90% of their money on. You think Mr. Donald Trump is somebody who is a nice guy? No, he's not a nice guy. Is he smart? Yes. Is he a great businessman? No, I don't think so. Do I think he has the greatest team that has been put together? Absolutely, I do. That's why I say that his speech yesterday was not written by him. It was written by the generals. The generals are in power. Ladies and gentlemen, do not have to ask me how I know these things. The generals know what they need to do. And he is finally listening. And that is the biggest positive catalyst. What is happening with the markets right now? Trust me. You're not going to hear this from Fox News. You're not going to hear this from CNN and MSNBC. You're hearing it at Clueless 8 Trading. And go tell your friends that. Because we want President Trump to succeed and do the right thing. We don't want him to get emotional. We want him to be tactical. Right? So how about a new slogan? Make America tactical again. We're already great. We don't need to know that. We're already great. Yeah, we have a lot of deficiency we can fix. But let's make America tactical again. Because all we've been doing is playing an emotional game. But it's time that it changed. And it's changing. So here we are, this trading range, and bang, we fall out, and now we're down here. Once we get back, I don't know if we will, because this is a massive resistance, 2460 on the E-minis. That's roughly about 2465 on the S&P 500. Show you on the other charts too. Okay? That is this big fat line that you're looking at. This big fat line that you're looking at. This is where it all happens. Everything that happened is great. Pattern symmetry, exactly what I said. Listen to my video, listen to my previous videos, look at my charts, spend some time doing some work for yourself. Because one thing I'll tell you is very few of my members And I want all of them to succeed. Okay? Just do not look at my charts or try to understand them. Some of them are so stingy, they won't pay 50 or 60 bucks for a session to sit there and learn what I teach on the weekends from my valuable family time. But yet they'll spend, in some cases, hundreds of dollars on other services and waste that money and learn nothing. It just boggles my mind. Good for them, because you know what they get in return? Losses. Now, do we all get losses? Absolutely. But they never seem to catch the waves. And that itself means they're losing more. Because whatever you lost on this downdraft, okay, and we did short this, but let's say this volatility downdraft, you could have made, excuse me, somebody mute the mic, please. Please, somebody mute the mic. Okay. Whatever you lost on this type of chop, which was not easy, I'll tell you that. It wasn't easy, because we could have easily gone down to that 2400 level that I talked about. Okay? A lower 2400 level, right down here, which is actually around 2406. I don't know why it says 2430, to be honest with you, because this was more like 2406 that I showed quite a bit. And I showed the 2400 level on my TOS charts, which I'll show in a few minutes. We were prepared for it. So I can't change somebody's habits. All I can do is keep on explaining and recommending and suggesting what you guys need to do. Because I keep on telling myself I'm not going to remind people on the website chat room on what to do, but I still keep on doing it. I'm just too much of a nice guy at times, you know. I'm telling you, it's getting to me, because even after all that work, I mean, honestly speaking, and Peter, you're new and you'll hear this and you're like, wow, this guy's a little nuts. I'm not nuts. I'm real straight. I don't give a flying you know what if somebody's making money or not, because you guys are not paying my bills. Are you? You guys are not doing anything for me other than paying a small fee for the month to get some precision alerts that can make you a lot of money. But do you care if I lose money? No. So why the heck should I care? But I do care. That's the reason why I spend so much time. My fingers are falling off reminding people to look at all these charts and stuff, reminding them to and answering questions that they have during the day. Tell me what other service does that. What other service does that? And on top of that, I'm goddamn right most of the time. If I was goddamn wrong most of the time, I mean, seriously, maybe I'd have a heck of a lot more members. Because in life, when you're right a lot, people expect more right things. Well, I'm giving it. So time to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. And I like you all. I don't know what the heck some of you are doing. I know some of you are attacking the alerts and stuff like that. But when I listen to my weekend video cast, the most aggressive time to get is when things are so rotten. And I showed this. Look at this arrow. And this is where the ACS stuff comes in. We were down here at almost 5, almost 7 on the RSI, on the stochastic, full stochastics. I mean, come on. I even put it on my comments. This was right before the elections. And what do we all hear all the time? Donald Trump, if he wins, we're going to be down 10,000 points. The world is going to go up in flames, blah, 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 blah. Did we not? This was 9 days of incessant selling before the elections. And then when the elections happened, we actually went down 800 points after hours. And this, ladies and gentlemen, let me change the color. And it's time for all of you to wake up. That's why I'm just remind you all this stuff, okay? This was the day after the elections. The candle. After we fell. And this is where we were on the internals, because the truth is always hidden in the signals beneath the price patterns. I mean, beneath the prices. Most of you just look at prices. How many times do I have to tell you? Including my good friend Jeremy Pastor. I wonder where he is right now. Okay? Always chasing prices. Yes, he looks at my charts. Yes, he makes money. I think he's a damn good trader. Biggest fault is, I'm not pinpointing him, but I'm just saying in general, just price watching will kill you. This is an algorithmic, high-frequency trading, black box, robotic market. For God's sakes, if you don't understand the words, you don't speak English, you should be deported. And in my opinion, go look at those words. Okay? This is not a price-driven market. This is not a volume-driven market. We had the lightest volume day of the year yesterday. Markets were flattish to down. You guys were all, excuse my French, shit scared. I kept saying buy, buy, buy based on what I showed on my charts. Some of you did. Many of you didn't. Today, you should just slap yourself and cry because you could have made your month or your week. What can I say? So, indicators got down to a level, which I pointed out because I even write things down because I believe that some of you, I mean, I don't know why I do it. I should just show my charts with the arrows and stuff and have you guys figure it out. But I don't because I'm not a mean person. I work way too hard during the day to type things in. I said these were the pre-election November 4th lows. Does anyone remember that I wrote that? And please don't lie. Does anyone remember? Just be honest. You know, does anyone remember I wrote that a couple of times yesterday?
Yes. You bet.
Okay. So what the heck is to think about? We were getting down to levels where it's just like the world is ending. Look, I don't blame you guys. You listen to the big shots on TV. Yes, that's that. Jeffrey Gunlack. Do you think that any of those big shot guys who are prognosticating on the market really give a crap about whether you're making money or not? Since 2009, March 9, 2009, and Peter Lau listened to it. Okay? These big shots and the Art Cashins and the Santellis of the world, they're not bad people, they're great people, have kept the American mom and pop investor completely out of the market while their prognostications of a death spiral. Either it's the hatred of the Federal Reserve, it's the hatred of Bernanke, the hatred of Janet Yellen, the hatred of Obama, the hatred of the Democrats, name it, hatred of anything. Now they're hating Trump. Trump can do anything, whatever. The political system doesn't matter as much as what the market wants to do. Markets run on pure earnings. American business is the king. That is the economic god, not the political crap that happens. Trump could go down tomorrow. The markets would go higher. Okay? Seriously. I'm telling you straight out. I come from Wall Street. Yes, we'd have a dip of maybe 500 points initially. If Melania is president, maybe we'll go down 3,000 points. I'm just kidding, all right? So bottom line is that we were down here, right, like before the election. I mean, this is serious stuff. I even put it there. So regardless of whether we bounced or not, you got to put some money down at those levels and cost average down or enter a little bit harder. Now, did I go really not aggressive at that point? No, but I did put in. This daily chart, ladies and gentlemen, has one piece of good news for many of you SOA traders. It's going higher. What can I say? It's going higher. Yes, we might be down 50 points at the open. We're going higher. Unless something dramatic happens, stupidity out of Washington, D.C., North Korean, Iranian type of situations, we're going higher. Why? Because look at the stows. Even your kid will know that. This is bouncing. Now, can it do a double take down here and we're down like 200 points before it moves higher? Sure it can. I explain all that on my video cast. Go listen to it. I made that advanced coaching session video cast. There are paid members. They're being generous, like I put. for you, all of you, to learn and listen. So for God's sakes, stop being stingy. Sign up for the ACSs, pay your dues, learn the skills. Stop piggybacking other people who are paying a few bucks and taking advantage of them. That's a welfare society, and I hate it. Okay? So stop being welfare traders. Do your thing. And I mean that, guys, all right? Because I'm tired of making ACS videos free here and there while other people are paying. Why don't you pay them for the money that they've paid to sit there, learn, and do well? All right, let's move on. So this was critical. So now we are on the bounce mode. Now, does this mean that we're going to bounce straight up? I don't know. No, I don't know. Maybe we do a little double takedown here. Come below the RSI 20 and then do it. But I know one thing. It's going higher. Is it going to go all the way past 80, 100? I have no idea. If this happens, ladies and gentlemen, if we basically get up here like we did back here, like we did back here, like we did back here in, like I keep on saying, this is a May 17th symmetry. Well, that's a good probability. Trading is a game of probabilities, not certainties, right? We know that. We know that. Okay? Or July 6th, I kept on saying. That's why I said review my charts. I'm showing you Thinkorswim. I'm showing you investing.com. Look at my quad charts. Look at my comments. Put it together. You guys are smart people. That's why you're Americans. You know how to read, write. Right? So do the same thing here. So the bottom line is, whether it's July 6th, whether it's May 15th lows, whether it's the pre-election lows, which is pretty dramatic, or the lows of early January, late December, every single time the markets bounce. I have little arrows to even show you. What more could I do? So now there's a couple of things going on here, and I'm going to zoom in, which is telling, oh, so let's say, for example, before I finish my thought, we actually zigzag all the way up here, overbought. Can anyone tell me where they think the market, and this is the actual S&P 500, will be if we actually get up towards the overbought zone? What do you think the S&P 500 would be? And we closed at 2452. Come on, guys, wake up and answer the question.
2550 to 2600.
Good answer. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I'd say 2550. I'm looking at the white uptrend line.
Yeah, so you're looking at this, right? Okay. All right, so that's Corey and Sue. What do you think? Sue, please answer. I'm going to try to zoom in. Hold on. Remember, this is the big downtrend line that we have to cross before we do that, 2472. This is that gap fill that I kept on talking about, that pesky gap fill, right? Use the word pesky. And we went well past that on from this move yesterday. So, Sue, can you hear us? She's offline. All right, Tim, if we get up to, if we move all this full stochastics on a daily, which carries a lot of weight, and I teach all that stuff for ACS. I'm not going to get into the weighting part of it. Gets all the way up here, which is overbought conditions. Where do you think the market might go to? Many other respondees have said that up here to 2550, which means that we would be up 100 points, which means the Dow Jones Industrial Average would be up 600 points from where we are, right? If we get up, remember, one S&P point is roughly 6 or 7 Dow points. I'm going to put DJ, Dow Jones points. So you're saying, people are saying, okay, if we get up here, we'll be up 700 points from where we are right now. I need some more answers. Peter, what do you think? Is anyone here? I mean, I don't keep on asking the questions over and over again. Kerry, what do you think?
25 to 2550.
Okay.
2500 is a big number, big round number.
Big round number. Peter?
Yes, Frank.
Okay, so did you get my question? Not yes, Frank. That's not an answer.
No, I'm actually at work right now, and I'm kind of listening in the background.
Okay, so let me ask you. Let me ask you. Let me rephrase the question. Okay, no problem. That's good. Anyone gives me a logical answer, I'm acceptable. So these are these extreme oversold readings on the stochastics. If the stochastics bounces all, and by the way, you're a new member. I know you know some technical, so I'm not going to hold you to it. So if it bounces all the way up to overbought zone, what do you think the S&P 500 that closed at 2450? What do you think based on these charts where it can go to? And by the way, are you looking at it on a laptop or on your iPhone?
iPhone.
Okay, forget it. Oh, your answer is not worth it. Let's move on. Because on an iPhone,
okay.
I mean, unless you can answer that off an iPhone, I will use an iPhone 6 Plus. But I don't know. I mean, can you tell? Like, can you see what's going on?
If the stochastic is going to 70.
I mean, let's say the stochastic is going all the way overbought, past 80.
80.
What do you think? If you can see my charts, you don't have to guess. What do you think the market's going to?
Where the green line, where the blue line is 2,500.
Not really. I mean, generally speaking, if it gets up all the way overstretched, it goes to the upper end of the channel, which is well beyond the blue line, which was the previous high. It would go to about 2530. Okay. No, that's good answer. So did I miss anybody? Everybody's answered. So here's my answer to that whole question, because this is what I've seen. The mechanics of fast-moving algorithmic programs mean that if this happens in a real world where textbook where 1 + 1 = 2, we would go to about the 2530, 2550 level. But unfortunately, this can move faster, and we could basically stall below 2500. Some people say, how is that possible? Don't ask me. I've seen it happen. So in other words, it doesn't have to go to the upper end of the channel. When it gets overbought, it can stall somewhere between, let me clean this out, between the downtrend line, which is 2474 and 2492. Am I clear on what I'm saying? In other words, it doesn't have to be which picture perfect. This is your picture perfect picture. Beautiful channels drawn. Upper end of the channel is 2528, 2530. Well above is close to 2600, which I think we get by the end of the year, by the way. Because I know the Trump team is going to deliver. Just know these things. Don't ask me. All right? So bottom line is, we will get there. But before that, we are stuck between this channel and that channel. And what is this channel with the mid channels? 2530. What is the lower end of this channel? Is exactly where we stop right now, which is around 2452, 2455, which is we went above the 50-day moving average. See that fat green candle? We are above the 50-day moving average. Every single time the market dropped, I had some members tell me, that's it. We have lost the 50-day moving average. It's a bad thing. It's over. But it's not over. The U.S. economy is strong. Global economies are pumping. Yes, we have problems, but we will recapture the 50-day. What happens after that, we'll find out. But every single time that we have lost the 50-day moving average, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a fantastic tactical trade. Fantastic. The 50-day moving average always recaptured. And that move alone is good for 300% to 200%, if not more, on tactical trades. So what do I care? What do you care? Whether the market's making a new high or not. You care about the ranges we're going to move in. Am I clear on that? I mean, really, am I clear on that?
Yes.
We don't give a flying shit. Excuse my French, okay? My New York French. Whether the markets are crashing down, dying, in filling up, whatever. We want to play the tactical ranges. So what the heck are you guys waiting for? Perfect moments? The perfect moments with these reversal hammers was this morning when I told people to buy the calls at $2, the 2455s. Even somebody like Mary, MW, an older lady, can buy them at 2 and change, and she sells them. They went to $6.25. Any of you know good math? That's 250% plus. She did it. So if Mary can do it, I suggest that all of you do it a lot faster. And she's taking care of her ailing dad. God bless her. I am so proud of her, I can't even tell you how I'm proud of her. All right? I'm dead serious, guys. You can buy a $2 call, the 2450s that I recommended, at $2.10. The frigging thing went to a high. These are expiring tomorrow. Probably going to go higher tomorrow. They went to $7. $7. Okay? So my point is, well, they actually went to $5. I'm sorry. My apologies. 250 calls went to $7. And they were the 2450 calls. No, 2450 calls, yeah. I told them people to sell that and buy the 2455s. The 2425s that we bought right at those tactical lows were originally bought at 16. They went down to 10 yesterday. We cost averaged nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, they went to 31. Now you tell me, this is the first time I've done this? Now you tell me, how many times are you all going to keep on making the same goddamn mistake, which I don't really care about? Keep on doing it. Keep on punishing yourself, cheating yourself from money. It's like my charts and my alerts are giving you guys money, and you guys are literally saying, you're just throwing it away. Good for you guys. You deserve it. I'm dead serious. I am so pissed off with some of you who have been with me for so long, keep on saying the same words over and over again. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. No, you're not trying to learn. All you're doing is pandering to your emotional demons. You're not trying to learn. Real learning comes from physically acting. $17. They went to $10 to $11. They closed at $31 today. 3 days, guys. You telling me you couldn't buy one? Okay, maybe you didn't have the money because you're broke, which I don't believe you are. You couldn't buy one more at 11 or even 12. Your average cost would be 14, and you would sell at 31 or even at 30 or even at 28. No. I know exactly when people make money. They're excited. When real money is made, they're really excited. When no money is made or little money is made, and they are in a position, they're like, yeah, I hold that position. Yeah, that's great. Did you make any money? They didn't make any money. Because if they really made money, they would be excited. Trading is a game of mental confidence. What's real money? For some people, it's a couple of $100. For some people, it's a couple of $1,000. So the ones who, and for some people, if they make $100, $200, you think they're really excited? No, they're not. They just gave away a gift that was given to them. And this is not the first time that's happened. A gift that was given to them on multiple trade alerts. And they did not do it with any sizable amount that they could feel good about. That's why they're silent. And then they give me some cockable, excuse my French, New York French, bullshit comment about, oh yeah, I did okay. I was in that trade. It means nothing because it didn't make you feel good. And if you're not feeling good of these powerful trades, when are you going to feel good? You're going to keep on, quote unquote, learning for how long? Stop fooling yourself, guys. Stop fooling yourself. So anyway, at this point in time, we are above the 50. We're going to attack the 34. And we have a very, very powerful resistance at this slightly downward sloping S&P 500 2462. Is it possible that we have a crash and burn 300 point down off 2462? Absolutely. By that time, like I told you, we could be well in that overbought zone. There is no guarantee that we are going to make a new high or even touch the old high on the markets. We are still within this consolidation zone marked by these beautiful lines drawn right there. We just entered it. We went above the 50-day moving average at 24.49 and change, which I showed from a few days ago, including yesterday. I knew this was going to happen. That was a given. Now, you can't. The lemmings are going to all jump in. They're all going to get burned because the market could very well get rejected off this 34-day moving average, which is 2457, because that is the nature of the beast. We could just go like this, hit this level, the 20-day moving average, the 34, and boom, straight down. Go through that gap fill, come down here. They're all going to freak out. The room's going to be dead silent. I'm going to be the only one posting, trying to get people motivated. What the heck do I care? I'm really getting tired, guys. I'm telling you, okay? I laugh. Room's dead silent. You know, maybe one or two people are there. Golf is there. There's some other people there. They're like, but they're never really doing anything real, okay? So the bottom line is, at that point, another massive buying opportunity. And that would create possibly, if this is a head and shoulder, and I'm not going to explain this to you because it's on my weekend video cast very clearly. It could be a very prominent head and shoulder, okay? And we get down here, this could turn out to be a nice W formation, what we call the dragon bullish. So guys, I can't change the way you do business. I can just show you what happens. Is it easy? No. You want easy? I don't know. Whatever you do. Go lie down on your couch, watch TV, watch a bad show, all right? But if you want to, look, key ingredient in this business, I'm going to move on. The key ingredient in this business is hunger. You have to be really hungry to win. I have to be. I love the business. I think this is the best business in the world ever. I left a very nice, powerful job on Wall Street. I did not want to deal with clients. The company tried to sue me for for a year. I said, for what? That I didn't take a single client with me, institutional and retail? I just don't want to be somebody else's psychologist. Sometimes I feel that I am your psychologist, and it's getting tiring, guys. Time for you guys to wake up and as adults, take the advanced coaching sessions, work hard, learn, do what you need to do. You want to pander yourself, you want my sympathy, you're not going to get it. For what? Why should I give you sympathy? I am there on the hardest days of the market, constantly moving people along. Do what you need to do. No service does that because I'm not your psychologist, all right? Just remember that. So bottom line is, this is the easiest trading chart ever. It is. It's called the Fibonacci retracement. We were at 2488 on the E-minis, which is roughly the highs, right? Where the S&P 500 was at 2490, right? 2488. So S&P 500 was 2490, 87. That's where we went to. And then we crashed and burned. Since we didn't crash and burn. That's a stupid statement to make. We came down. We went hard. We did really well with that. Came down. We shorted this. We got caught in this mumbo jumbo. We were down for a day. And then, bang. Where did we land up? 50% Fibonacci retracement. Standard procedure. Told you guys that straight out. That's it. What happens at the 50%? We might pull back. We might pull back 10 points. That's roughly 60, 70 Dow points. What's going to happen? Bunch of you are going to be like, ooh, it's like so bad. It's so dangerous. Okay, fine. We are overbought on the 1 hour. We could easily reset. Remember what I said. Take down partial to large profits down. Reduce your long positions. Stay long in certain things. Doesn't mean every stock is going to be down. Stocks like Alibaba recommended from 90, 95, 100, 110 are currently at 175. Did I say it was going to be 175? There were people long Alibaba. I didn't see the excitement in their voice, and you know exactly who I'm talking to right now. No, because they didn't bother to really have a position. They said, yeah, I own it. I bought it when you told me to. Well, where's the excitement? Excitement comes naturally because you did something big. You never did. So where's the excitement? You made $300 on a 30-point move. Oh, whoopee, that's excitement, right? So guys, time to wake up. Bottom line is, at this point, there's a big fat downtrend line at this level, which is the 61.8 Fibonacci level to 2460, 2464. If we breach that, we have a fair shot to test the highs. And it's going to be very fast, very furious. Remember, everything that I say, they repeat on the media. I said, these are markets. What happened in months now happens in hours. Well, guess what? Big shot from Chase, getting paid $5 million a year, said the same thing. Everything's very fast thanks to the algorithmic high frequency trading, blah, blah, blah. Didn't use the same words, but he said everything's very quick these days. This is the way it goes. Well, great. We'll be talking about this for years, if not months. In fact, since last year, when the machines really took over the markets. So at this point, this is where we are. So what can I say? On that note, I'm not going to entertain any questions for a simple reason. I have my video from the weekend explains a lot of significant stuff. I will simply show I don't have the VIX chart here, but let me show the one pulling out from this. Okay. Bear with me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, and I shall bring it over to the screen and try to make it bigger. Hold on. Bingo. Now, if you guys, it's just an ugly chart. Now, does it mean that it's going to be ugly forever? No. It probably will be ugly for 1 more day or 2 more days. But I pinpointed every single move here. I watch this chart like a hawk, and I share it with you guys. Sometimes I don't want to post so much because I feel that on certain days when things are rough, which means that those are the days that we should be buying like the heaviest, I'm posting charts and nobody's looking at them, and it's a waste of my time. But it's my job, so I will keep on doing it because I'm an honest guy. I will continue to do my job. Are you doing yours? Which I don't think many of you are. So bottom line is, if you saw a chart falling over, like I call it the French guillotine, right? Louis XIV, if anyone knows history. Chop, chop, chop. Well, this is exactly what it looks like. Do you really want to buy this? But I did show levels where it can fall to before it bounces. And believe me, Peter is sitting here listening to me, who actually joined our service because he saw my UVXY chart when nobody was expecting it all the way back there at the end of July, and it went up to 17 because I did say the big popper. Peter, do you remember that? That's what you read. Remember, I said the big popper might be there.
Well, I looked at that, and then on that just alone, I bought 25 contracts of the VIX, and so that alone.
Great. And I remember that on that chart, which I have anyway.
Well, I also
I called it the big pop, like the big popper or something. You know, that it's going to pop. Now I didn't know it was going to pop, but I did feel that it was going to happen. And you know, part of it was based on all the internals that I was seeing, the crossovers and stuff. And some of our members participated in that. Many didn't. But go ahead, Peter.
Well, I was looking at that and was confirming it, and then I was looking at those 2 hollow candlesticks. I don't know if you can look at that, but then if you go into stockcharts.com, and I confirmed it, there's a hollow candlestick.
Sure.
That gave me a lot of confidence that might do a without even learning.
Right.
Option expired or anything other than just looking at the hollow candlestick.
Yes.
Gave me a lot of confidence and confirming with yours.
Awesome. So, that's great. And which brings me to a great point, which I want to remind everyone. You don't have to follow me like a blind god. Use your own guts, which obviously you have to. Use other services that you're following. Use that too. Use my tools that I'm showing because I do look at the market very differently, and my charts are constructed in a very unique fashion, just based on my style, which has worked. That's why I keep on doing it. And then do what you need to do. There are days that you can go against me on what I'm thinking because there are different ways to skin a cat. I can cost average down on a pullback, or you can go short and make money on that pullback or whatever the pullback may be. I don't like shorting the market down 300 points, even though it might go down 100 more points. But believe me, if you're not fast enough, you will die a bloody death when that turns around and goes up 300 points. So that's just my style. So I just want to be clear about that. This is a beautiful chart. It should be hung on the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA. Visit that in New York whenever you guys visit. Because look at this, the ranges. All I did was simply draw downtrend lines by touching the tops of each of these reversal points. Okay? And that's it. Now this one is telling me that we will probably have a bounce here, we'll probably have a bounce here, but internals are telling me we are not oversold yet, because the internals very simply are curling down. Doesn't take rocket science. Even your kid will understand that. Look at that. It's curling down. Now, unless it suddenly moves up like this, which for the VIX it can, mind you, that's a different story. But generally speaking, it wants to get oversold. Once it gets oversold, we should be somewhat down here. And if we go to 950, that means the market is basically printed 2,500 plus on the S&P 500. That's the last thing I'll say. Guys, you guys have been a pleasure. I've been very direct. You will either like me or hate me, but don't hate me. It's not worth it, because I'm probably going to make you a lot more money if you understand what I'm delivering to you guys. If you take the coaching sessions, if you stick to what I'm teaching, I will try to answer every question for my members on the chat room, but I will not. I cannot and will not deal with nagging, complaints, complacency, all that stuff. Go ahead and do that. That's not a problem. We are traders. We're tough people. And as a trader, you got to have a thick skin. If you have a thin skin, go to a nice barbecue party, okay? You know, but when it comes to trading, you got to be tough. Got to be able to take some comments back and forth. We lost 2 or 3 people over the past week. We gained about 5 new people over the past week. And I don't blame anybody. If trading was that easy and we could all make real money, then we wouldn't be successful. Then everybody would be fine. But most traders, 90% of traders, don't make it. What I'm teaching is an alternative way of looking at things and keeping the emotional quotient to a minimum. I try to do it every single day. I teach it, I share it, and suggest that all of you guys do it. On that note, have a great evening. God bless you all. God bless the USA. And we have great things to come. The United States of America is on the rise, not on the decline. And trust me, I know. Have a great evening.